Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Terence back at us with another video. How are you guys doing? Hope your Friday is great. Hope it has been better than mine, right? Hopefully, and I pray so it is better than mine, right? And I understand that we are all waiting for the weekend. I mean, I'm pretty sure that 95% of the market waits for the weekend, and just the other 5% are people who passionately do their work kind of thing, right? And for them, it's every day is like a weekend, right? Because it doesn't feel like work. Hope you guys are in the latter part, right? Like most of the audience, right? And also, before I get into that tangent, I would like to welcome all new channel members, right? I'm extremely grateful and humble and satisfied and humbled, should I say, in terms of the awesome support I've got in terms of the views, the likes, etc. Right? So, I don't want to sound a lot more preachy than that, right? I'll talk about the metrics at the end of the channel, so please stay tuned till the end of the video, right? Now coming back to the topic, you've probably seen the video right now, right? Not the video, obviously, the video title, obviously by now, correct? So this video is tailored more for people who are entering the industry or who have entered, let's say, the professional careers in 2020 post the apocalypse of the coronavirus or COVID-19, right? Right, because things were very different at the beginning and things are very different now, and I think things are going to be even more different as we proceed. So I thought about making a video that would help mostly younger audiences, right? People who are finishing their colleges, their schools, who want to get into a job, etc., right? And this also can help people who are tenured as well, because we all have to adapt as per the new norms, right? And most of us are still working from home, right? So coming back to the topic of the video, right? As you read by now, it's about how do we exactly spend our salaries, or how do you spend your paychecks in the year 2021, right? Knowing that 2020 has happened, so how do we do that? You will hear analysis of invest here, invest there, don't invest here, don't invest there. Your salary should be 10% of that should go to your rent and your mortgage, whatever, right? So I'll make it even more simple. I'll narrow down to 3 or 4 steps, right? So that way, based on my experience, what I've done and not done can help you guys as well, right? The first very important. There we go. The first very important thing I would recommend is, as soon as let's say you have a salary of $5,000 as a month, just to understand a whole number, right? You have $5,000 a month as a salary, right? And let's say you get it on the 1st of April, right? On that same day or on that evening or on that night, if you're free, unless you're working or caught up with something else, on that night itself, what I would do is I would pay off all my needs, right? We all know what our needs are, right? Let's say the electricity bill, the internet bill, the mortgage, the rent, some sort of groceries as well, and also things that basically you cannot live without, right? So understand, I mean I've spoken in depth in one of my previous videos about wants and needs, right? So whatever your needs are, right, so spend it off immediately. Now you might be like, what is this guy saying? Hold on. I mean, most of y'all might have heard, like, save your salary, let's say until the middle of the month. That way, there's some salary in your account and there's some money in your account, and then you pay it only at the end, right? I would not do that. The reason is, I'm a person who always pays my bills on the day the bill is generated, right? Why is that, right? I've really thought about it. Should I spend it just a day, should I pay it a day before the due date, or should I pay it somewhere in the middle or the beginning, right? So I realized that human beings tend to be a little more cautious and a little more smart and a little more disciplined if they have lesser things with them, or lesser in this case, lesser not less cakes. In this case, lesser money in their pockets, right? Now, what do I mean by that, right? So the more monetary value that we have around us, right, the human brain, right, like I've spoken again in the previous videos, right, it wants stimulation, it wants stimulants, any sort of form, can be pleasure, whatever, right? The more money we have, the more opportunity you have to gain more stimulants, right? Think about that really importantly, right? So would you be more inclined to, let's say, binging on alcohol, or binging on downloads, paid downloads, or in your Spotify account for podcasts, whatever, right? when you have more money or when you have less money? When you have less money, you are more inclined to to be a little more careful, a little more cautious, right? But let's say if I have billions of dollars, we've all seen that scenario of that one person winning the lottery and getting $1 billion and then losing it like this, right? So when we have a lot more lesser money in our account, right, for that month at least, for that paycheck at least, right, you'll be a little more cautious of what remains, right? So that's the whole reason of paying off all your needs at the very beginning, right? As soon as you get your salary, right? In the first or second day I will pay all my needs, right? We'll do a video later on what needs are, etc., right? In detail. I mean, if you want to see what I spoke about in general, just visit one of my videos somewhere during the early days. 2 weeks ago is when I started my channel, is when I spoke about wants and needs. So you can check that. So that was the first point. Pay off all your needs in the first or the second day you get your paycheck or your salary, right? The second thing is, now let's say I told you earlier, let's say your salary was $5,000 and you spent $1,000 for your needs on the first and second day, right? Now you have an amount of 100% off, which is equals to $4,000 as an example, right? So what I would do that I would break that down there, right? Remember, this is all happening in the first or second day that you received your salary. So you still have control of your finances for that month, right? So $2,000, I would split that up into 50-50, right? So the first part, $2,000, I would spend that, I would keep it in a different account, right? I would call this account like my daily needs kind of account, right? Or my daily not needs, let's say my daily expenditures, let's say food, fuel. We'll just keep it food and fuel for now. For other people it could be a number of things, right? It could be, I don't know, your family responsibilities, feeding the kids, school, whatever, right? So keeping this stock around people who are just getting into work, who don't have kids or responsibilities as of yet. We'll keep the 2,000 for fuel and food, right? So throughout that month, let's say from 1st to 30th or 31st of April as an example, I'm not sure how many days, you will fetch values or you will fetch money only from the first 2K, okay, from the first 2K account. From the other 2K account, you will leave it as it is. You will invest that long term somewhere. All your investments, your SIPs, your fixed deposits, your mutual funds, your stocks, etc. is in the second account, right? Now, how much out of the second account? Again, split the second account into two more parts. So from $2,000, you have $1,000 and another $1,000. So the $1,000 you will put it in your savings investments, and the other one in a long-term savings account, right? For that rainy day, your rainy day account. So to keep it simple, you get your salary, pay it first, you split the remaining amount into two sections, and you keep one part of it aside for food and fuel throughout the month. The other part you split it into your long-term investments and one for your rainy day account. Simple. That was actually 2 steps, right? And the third step I noted, let me just check my script, right? Is understanding what your wants are. Remember earlier I was talking about needs, right? Just take a few minutes and note down what your wants are. So wants are things that you can live without, right? So for me, a want may be, let's say a new subscription or a premium plan to my Netflix account as an example. That's a want. I can live without it, right? So make a note of your wants. Keep it short. I would say keep it to a maximum of 2 wants in a month, right? And I would spend on these wants only at the end of the month, not at the beginning of the month, right? At the beginning you spent on all your needs. You saved, you were frugal and saved through the middle of the month, and at the end of the month you spent on the 2 wants that you decided. I would not keep it more than 2, right? Unless you have like $1 billion, you're like KSI or PewDiePie or whatever, right? Then it's a different story. Where for the average Joe who's working on a 9-to-5 job, I would keep my wants, especially people who are coming newly into the industry in this pandemic kind of situation, who have jobs, who want to have their future secured. I'll keep your wants to a maximum of 2 in a month, right? And whatever remains, let's say I told you, right, at the end you will have $1,000 or $1,000, and that $1,000 you spent it on long-term investments, whatever, and the other $1,000 you are putting on a rainy account. So you can only spend a little of that from the rainy account to your wants, and at the end you will at least, let's say $500 for your rainy day account, right? So just to summarize, the video has been long, right? First thing is pay all your needs at the first. Second thing is split your money 50-50. Keep the first 50 for food and fuel, as an example, like daily expenditures. The other half, again, split it into half. Split one of $1,000, like I said, into investments or whatever that you have, stocks, mutual funds, all kind of things, right? And the other 1,000 for your rainy day account, and another half of that, which is $500 for your 2 wants that you need. So this is how I would start my journey in terms of financial freedom, and how I would plan it in this kind of situation, because it's always important. The most important takeaway from this whole COVID-19 situation is the importance of saving things for a rainy day. I learned it the hard way, and I don't want you guys to go through that as well. So I just thought of making this short video. My battery is about to die because it's the second attempt. Anyways, so a few moments of your precious time, right? So please feel free to like the video, right? It gives me data in terms of where I need to take the channel if you're liking the videos, right? Because the data has been like this, to be honest, for now, right? Highs, lows, right? So feel free to leave your suggestions in the comments. It'll help me a lot, right? Like, subscribe, share. Please, 85% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel, right? Go ahead and subscribe. That way, it'll help me and motivate me to do more, right? If you're not sure, please check my account. I've literally been uploading videos since I think it's almost 15 to 16 days on a daily basis, right? It's been really difficult, and it's not time consuming. I like doing it, but there's a lot of effort going into this, right? So again, thank you guys for wonderful support. Until then, I'll catch you all next time. Cheerio.